beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. Oh, it's so good to already see a few of you here. Hi, Mona. Oh, you are. Mona says, anyone besides me excited for this? Yay! I am. And Jill is here. Oh, hi, Jill. Let's see. Whoops. Oh, you're waiting patiently. I appreciate it. It's good to see you both here. Oh, there's a plant-powered peddler, Janet. Hi, Janet. Hi, Jackie. It's really great. I'm so glad all of you are here today with me. And, I don't know if anybody is still looking for ideas for Thanksgiving, but I thought, even though it's still really close, here in the US, we're going to be having Thanksgiving on Thursday, which is in a couple of days. And, whether you've already had it, because maybe you're in Canada or another place, or maybe you don't celebrate it. I just think that having some fast or simple or different ideas are fun. And so I thought, what if we did something like this? And so I thought, well, maybe people that are still looking for an idea might be encouraged by this. Let's see. Hi, Lisa. So good to see you. Ooh, Mona is cooking right now a lentil loaf from Nutmeg Notebook. That's awesome. And hi, Gina. Gina's in the house. She's our moderator. Thank you so much, Gina, for being here and for everybody for being here. So I decided that we would call this Thanks Dipping. and work around the idea of dips and have some fun with it. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is that I'm going to share some recipes of some dips. We're going to do some dips together, but I'm also going to talk about, quick dips that you can grab pre-made in the store. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just that you want to have fun with it. And if you're hosting, and it doesn't have to be, it could be you're hosting this Thanksgiving or any other holiday, you could make it into for Thanksgiving, it could be a Thanks dipping party, right? And you could have everybody that wants to come or that is invited to come, please bring a dip. And you could even have everybody tell you what dip they're bringing so that you don't have 5 of the same, right? Or you could make all the dips and have everybody bring something different to dip in. Or vice versa. And so I just thought it would be fun. Has anyone ever had a Thanks dipping party or gotten really into dips? I'm really curious about that. So Mona says, I love a good dip. Yeah, me too. A plant-powered peddler, Janet, said, I just made the lemon ginger blast. Good. Everybody seems to be cooking and watching, and that's great. So I'm going to tell you about the recipes that I have. And so we are going to be making a spicy black bean dip. We are going to be making a smoky sweet potato white bean dip. We're going to make a spinach and avocado dip. So we hear a lot about spinach artichoke, but this is going to be spinach avocado. And we are also going to be making a raw zucchini ranch dip. And so those are the ones we're going to be making. I am going to be talking about maybe doing a 5th one if we have time. Definitely talking about hummus. I have a hummus recipe that I've recently shared, and so we could talk about that as well. So is anybody answering any thing about Thanksgiving and...
Well, with respect to dips, Mona said yes, back in the 80s.
Nice.
And Gina says she only likes eating dips.
That's also great. Good. So at least you know what you like. So that's great. Okay. So let's see. Okay. There were just a couple things that I also wanted to mention before we get started here. And is that for me, I just want to focus on the real reason that I want to be engaged in a holiday. And that's to be with the people. That's to have the experience. And I know growing up and, you know, with other things, I mean, we as a society tend to really emphasize a lot on the food. And so I just want to say that, like, if you're having a hard time, just try to think about it as a lighthearted, fun time, if that's possible. And, you know, what is it that you really want to get out of this? And so for me, it's just being engaged with the family or friends. I also sometimes have to tell myself, hey, it's just one meal, right? This is not like a setup. If I'm going to somebody's house or an event and I'm not engaging in what they're having, it's okay. We've talked about strategies to make sure that I'm full and everything. So, and then the last thing is, you are in charge. And when I say you, I mean me. Of how I want to eat and making the decisions ahead of time of what I'm going to allow myself or how I'm going to handle something. So, with that said, let's start making dips, right? Okay, so and I do have some papers here to just keep me on track. And so the first one, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. The first one we're going to do is the spicy black bean dip, and we're going to use the food processor for this. I'm actually going to be using a couple. We're going to be using the NutriBullet and the food processor, and in between, because I only have one machine of each, Todd has volunteered to wash them out. So please just know that we're going to do our best. And I have never done anything like this where I'm making multiple recipes using the same machine. So hopefully it'll go smoothly. And I just want to say, as everybody, we're all doing good. Okay, so spicy black bean dip is right here. I've got the S blade in. I want to go ahead and plug this in, and I'm going to just open the lid just in case. This is the S blade. I'm using the bigger portion here, and you can use, oh, that's what I wanted to show. 1 second. Let me just pull this out of the freezer. Da, 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 da. Let's see. You can use black beans that you made. These I made ahead of time, and they're in the freezer, but you don't have to. So it doesn't matter is my point. And so those can go back. But for this, for simplification, I went ahead and got a canned black beans that are no salt added. And so regardless of which way you do it, you're going to want to drain them. You can rinse them if you want, but I save the liquid that's in this. And if you made it yourself, you know, you can save that. I actually use it for soups and stuff. And so I have in here 2 cans, and these are 15 ounces. So I think it's about 1.5 cups per can. So the thing that I want to do is I want to take a little of this out and set it aside, because I want to add it in at the end to have a little bit of texture. And thank you so much. So I'm just going to grab a spoon. We got most stuff, but we just going to grab a little bit, not much, set it aside. And the rest of this is going to go right into our food processor. There we go. Now, I have the liquid here, and I'm going to reserve it in case it seems really dry or I need to add a little bit of something in there. If you don't have the liquid, maybe you did what I did, and right, it's already frozen and you don't have the liquid, you can add a little bit of water and that will be fine. Let me just put this away so we don't thaw this out. Okay, and so what we're going to use here is, you can either make your own salsa, or you can just use a tomato. It doesn't matter. I like to make a pico de gallo and some homemade salsa, but I also know that you can buy salsa ready to go. This one is a pretty good one. You just want to check the ingredients. And so either one you can use. I'm going to go ahead and use the tomato, and I'm just going to cut it just a little bit, because we are going to be putting it in the food processor, and I already washed it, and I'm just going to cut it into a couple pieces just to do it. Okay, and so that goes in there. Already it looks pretty to me. And then we want to get some other things in here. And I don't know if you could see this, but I have some minced garlic. You know, it's going to get chopped up in here. So you could just use a couple of cloves. I'm doing 2 cloves, fresh cloves of garlic. What if you don't have fresh garlic? Yeah, you can use garlic powder. You could put in about 1/4 teaspoon or so. And then I also have onion powder, dried oregano, and those are each a teaspoon each. And then I also have 1/2 teaspoon of some cumin. And so I'm just going to pour all of that in here. Spices are delicious and wonderful, and I love them. And then I'm actually going to rinse my finger, adding a little bit of black pepper, which I think I have it right here. And I'm just going to add some black pepper, and there we go. Now, if you like spicy, go ahead and add a serrano or a jalapeno or a habanero, any kind of hot pepper. And if you're not familiar with what that is, just know that the seeds inside are where the heat is. I talked about doing a serrano pepper today, but Todd said, can we do Cholula, which is a hot sauce? And so you can do hot sauce, or you can leave it all out depending on the flavor that you're going for. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going. And you tell me if we have anything going on here. I'm going to just go ahead and start. Yeah. Oh, you can see that it might need a little bit of help. I'm going to party. Okay, I can't help it. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Okay, so I'm just going to push this down a little. It is doing pretty well. I'm not going to add the liquid yet, and but I do want it to go a little bit longer. One more time, then I'll add some liquid. How we doing? Hey, Apple a Day is in the house. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Here we go. Okay, I know, I can't help it. Okay, this looks pretty good. So, and it's actually a little chunkier than I thought it was going to be. So you know what I'm going to do? Go ahead and put that in there. I thought if it would be really creamy, or if you do it in a machine that's really creamy, then you'll want to add a little of those to chop it up so you have some nice texture. And so I'm going to go one more time. Yeah. I wonder if you could hear this machine, because I know sometimes it usually gets rid of the sound, but this looks really good. So I'm going to see now about adding a little bit of liquid. Well, this looks really good. I don't think this needs any liquid. What do you guys think for a dip? You know? No. So if you think it needs a little liquid, then this is where we would add it. But otherwise, this is ready to go. And Janet says it's muffled. Oh, that means you guys aren't hearing any music. You got to hear it in your head. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, turn this off, unplug it. And let me just put this guy. Let's see how this turned out. Let's see. Todd, I'm going to ask you to come and taste a little of this before we put it over there and move to the next one, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind?
Okay,
because that's part of this job.
Yeah, thank you. If you think it needs something, this is the time, right?
This is the time. Hello, everybody.
Here he is.
I am your official court taster for the day.
So I can give you a different spoon, or I just use this in there. But
this won't work. I will try this.
Yeah, just let us know how it tastes, or if you think it needs a little more liquid.
That's good. No, I immediately get cumin right off the top.
Okay. I didn't add this yet.
I would, just because I'm a huge fan of Cholula.
We are. We're going to add it, but I'm just going to hand mix it in.
It does have a little bit of a spice on the backside. So be advised.
Okay, so
and now it's going to have more.
Now you know what?
This is going to be good, though. I'm super excited about this.
We could have blended it in there, but I kind of wanted you to taste it ahead of time, just so you could tell if people weren't interested in that.
Hi, Janet. I count the comments on the side.
What does she say? Hello to you?
Yes,
That's
and
nice.
yeah, Mona's wishing she was a taster as well, and we would love for you to be a taster.
Yes, yes. Okay, and this is like I'm doing this by hand in the machine, which
That's
is kind of
okay.
silly. But I just want to quickly give you an opportunity to see how that changes things.
I'm super excited. I'm going to go to the back side of the spoon.
Or we can get another
Nope,
spoon.
this is the one that's in my hand.
Okay.
It definitely adds a little bit more dynamic flavor to it. That is super good.
Okay,
yeah.
There you go. We have.
It's not too spicy.
Well, you are, but you really like spice,
true.
so
I'm probably not a good litmus test.
You should share that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to move it into this bowl, and then I'm going to ask Todd to rinse this out for us, and so we can get ready and do the next one. And this makes a lot. So we didn't have to do any of the liquid. And I'm wondering what people think about this. Anybody have any comments? Does this sound like something that's simple enough that you might enjoy making? Oh my gosh, this bowl, look it. It's going to overflow. I didn't pick a large enough bowl. You know what I might do? I might just move it into the bigger one. What do you think? Because I have this one right here. That might be smarter. And then it looks like we could mix it a little bit more. There you go. Okay. So I'm going to just take a minute and let's see. Okay, so you will take care of these for us?
I will.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so I wanted to ask everybody a question. Let's see, I just want to check. Oh, they're just, okay. Okay, everybody's getting to know everybody, which is good. Know like where they live and different things like that. So I do want to ask you guys a question about Thanksgiving that I have here. In terms of memories, do you guys have any favorite Thanksgiving memories or childhood memories that you would share? You can just say yes or no. You don't have to share what they are, but I'm just wondering if you have any. I was thinking about, like, do I have any? And I don't think as a kid, I mean, when my kids were little, we definitely did Thanksgiving. But as a child myself, that's not a memory that I really have recollection of. I remember doing some other holidays at relatives and my grandmother's, and I think my mom and I went to an uncle's house, but I think that because she told me. I don't remember. So yeah, let's see if anyone else thinks. Apple a Day says, I don't, because we didn't do Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah, so okay, and is that because of where you live and it's not done there, or your family just chose not to do it? That's interesting. And so yeah, it's just to rinse these guys off. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. We are going to show how to plate them later. And I think, I don't know if you could still see that. I'm going to move this out of the way and get on to the next funny stuff. If that doesn't apply to you, then the next question I would ask you is, does your family, if they do celebrate Thanksgiving, whether it was when you were a child or even now, do you guys have any kind of special traditions? And you know, if you don't, would you want to make some new ones? That's something that I think is fun to think about. Okay, so let me look and see. We're going to do next. We're going to do, oh, I'm really excited about this one. We are going to do the smoky sweet potato and white bean dip. And I am going to attempt to do it in the NutriBullet. So give me a minute to just change this out. And one thing about this smoky, no. What am I doing? Hold on. I'm getting confused. This is not what I'm doing. That is next time. See what happens when you're live and you complicate things by doing so many things? but it's all good. And I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, the dip sounds amazing. Thank you, Apple a Day. I think she's talking about my dip. Oh, Gina said she loves everything smoky. And good, I'm so glad. Okay, also, while I'm waiting before I guess I get into this, I did want to say that another really easy thing that you could do, that if we have time, I could even do it, is taking avocados and taking them out and just smashing them up. Getting some store-bought salsa, or maybe you have homemade salsa, and literally taking a couple of spoonfuls and mixing it in there. Guacamole. Super simple. It doesn't have to be crazy. And that is an easy way that I enjoy it. Okay. So now I'm going to try this again. Let's see. I'm looking for sweet potato and white bean dip, which I think, oh, it's over here. Okay. So this is keeping me on my toes for sure. So I'm going to move over. We're going to reset right now. And while we do that, I'm going to just ask another question here. See if you guys have anything that you might want to share. Oh, this is a good one. Is there any kind of meal prep that you guys would like to include guests in terms of meal prep or bringing dishes? Like I guess I would say, what is your favorite way if you've done it? And I have done it before, and I've done it making these bars, right? And it's not necessarily a Thanksgiving thing, but we've done like pizza bars and had everybody had, you know, their crust or their dough or whatever. And then I would put out all the toppings. And that was my way to get people engaged. And sometimes I would even ask them to bring your favorite topping. And so that's kind of cool. Let's see if anybody else comes up with anything while I go ahead and open up another can of beans. We're going to be using organic navy beans, no salt added. You don't have to have navy beans. The idea is just to have a white bean. So there are other choices that are white. So cannellini is like a white kidney bean. It's larger. And so, you know, whichever one works for you. So we're all set. Thanks, Todd.
You're welcome.
So you're going to head back over to the chat.
I'm going to inspire some very profound chatting.
Okay, that's great. All right. And let's see. Oh, I'm going to just grab another one of these. Okay, so you're checking that, and I'm just going to be emptying this. Let me just make sure that we're not keeping. No, we're just going to rinse this, and I'm using one 14-ounce can or 15-ounce can. Let's see, one can worth. This is a 15-ounce can or a cup and a half if you have them fresh and that you've made them, which I do both. And if you have some that have salt, you know, sometimes people need to just get what's available. You can rinse them. Just rinse them off. Do the best you can. It's all good. So I'm actually rinsing them out of habit, but now I'm just going to let them do their thing. Okay, so we've got that draining, and I'm just going to set it right there for a minute. And then what we are going to do is, so I kind of did a few things ahead of time to help with this. And that is, I cooked the sweet potato, and you could see I left an extra one here, but I just took I had a couple of them, took a sweet potato, put it on a lined cookie sheet, put it on here. I did make a little hole in it where you could see that it got a little bit of the yummies, what I call it, stuck it in the oven, and I had it on 400 degrees until it was cooked. And I think it took me about 45 minutes. And I just want it nice and soft. And then what I did was I went ahead and took that whole one that was this size, and I measured it out. This size is kind of like a medium, fits in my hand here, and it measured 1 cup, and that's what I wanted, 1 cup. So I already took the skin off, and it's an orange. I'm sure you can use any sweet potato that you want. I just happen to use this one, and so we're gonna just go ahead and plop it right in there. We have any questions or anything?
No, Apple a Day says that she used to host what was called stone soup dinners, where everyone would bring one ingredient. There was a checklist, and then she would make loaves of bread. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I love that. Do you know that the grandkids or even our kids, when they were little, there was a stone soup book. I remember maybe kindergarten or first grade teachers reading. And I think the classroom did something like that, but I never thought of doing it like that. That's awesome.
And then Jill's done the same thing, only with salads, where everybody brings up one ingredient.
I love that. That is so awesome. You guys are coming up with some great ideas that you've incorporated and used, and I love it. Thank you. It gives me new ideas as well. That is great. Okay, so I am going to attempt not to spill this and put the beans in here. Blow. Hey, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I fit them all in here. Okay, so we have the 1 cup of sweet potatoes. Let me know if anyone else has anything to share like that, because those are super awesome. I wonder, well, I just got to ask you. So Apple a Day, when you had that, who had the spices or seasonings? I don't know. Did you guys have somebody bring that, or did you supply that? Okay, so we've got the sweet potato, we've got the white beans. We're using the northern. You can use northern. We're using navy. There's cantonelli. There's all of those. And then what I have here, believe it or not, is some orange juice, and I have 3 tablespoons of orange juice. If orange juice doesn't work for you, switch it out for apple juice. That's fine, or any other kind of a juice that you can. I met someone recently that had an orange juice allergy, and I was sharing some recipes, and I just told her to maybe try apple juice because I think it was a citrus thing. So pineapple and those kinds of things wouldn't work. In this little guy here, let's see. We have smoked paprika and cinnamon, right? Smoked paprika. Now, I wanted to show there is a huge difference between smoked paprika and regular paprika or sweet paprika. And this is called a smoky sweet potato and white bean dip. So we got to make sure we got the smoky part. And so I had some paprika opened and it wasn't smoky, and I made sure to go and get some. And I'm just going to toss that in there. And those amounts are a tablespoon of smoked paprika. And then I have a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to add 3 cloves of garlic. And that I went ahead and cooked also ahead of time. And I cooked it with, well, you should cook it with the sweet potato. I forgot, and so I did it after the fact. And what I did was I just took some parchment paper. Let's get it out of here. There it is in there, hiding in there. And I put some cloves in there, 3 cloves. And I already took the paper off. You could leave the paper and take it off now, which is probably better. Boy, does that smell good. And it just brings out the sweetness. If there is any liquid in there, you just, whatever is in here, you put it in there. I put it in the parchment paper because I prefer my food not to be touching the aluminum foil. And so because I didn't want possible leakage or anything, then I wrapped it like that. And so that's what we have here. And then the last thing, a little twist of black pepper. Or 2 or 3. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and try this and see if we can get it creamy on the NutriBullet. Lately, sometimes my NutriBullet leaks a little, so I want to make sure I get it nice and tight. And let's see. Okay, yeah. We just want to ask, while I get this going, do you prefer chunky dips? Or do you prefer smooth dips, right? And you and I can share our thoughts in a little bit. So I just wanted to share that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I'll try not to do too much dancing since you can't hear the music, but let's see if there's enough liquid, if this will blend up for us nicely. Oh, I have to get it in the right way. There we go. And that is not really grinding up well. So what to do? Maybe I'll add a little bit more orange juice if you can. That would be great. Also, putting this in a different container, a different blender, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. I'm going to add an additional tablespoon, and hopefully that will be, you can freshly squeeze your orange juice, which I did, but we also have some store-bought one, and whatever works is the way to go. That's what I say. It smells really good.
We have 5 votes in on the chunky or smooth.
Okay, hang on. Let me just, okay. Oh, this isn't going to grind up. Yay! Now, I think it might need a little more liquid. So tell me, I'm just going to play with this until I get it right.
Well, it started out fairly simple, and now it's getting more complex as people are qualifying what kind of dip specifically.
Okay, so start at the beginning. Oh yeah, this is.
Gina likes chunky.
Gina likes chunky. Okay.
Yep.
2
Jackie
tablespoons.
loves smooth and creamy. Apple a Day says, I love dips. I don't care what they are. She likes both.
That's great. That's
Jill
great.
is smooth unless it's guacamole. Then she likes chunky.
Okay.
And then Gina came back with she likes chunky, peanut butter, nuts in my brownies, and goodies in my ice cream girl.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to say, what is that? Even, or is that?
I think. Sounds to me like any dip will do.
Any dip will do, but you and I didn't say. Do you have a preference?
Now that I'm reading some of these, I too think that it depends on the dip. Chunky guacamole is fantastic.
Chunky guacamole.
Yes.
Oh.
With a little creaminess.
Do you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I do like a chunky guacamole, but I also like really creamy, like hummus and some of these dips. I'm kind of helping this. This is not blending as well as I had hoped in this machine, and that happens sometimes. So I'm just trying to add a little bit more liquid. But what do you think about what I just shared? And I'm adding a tablespoon at a time. And I'm just going to do it until it blends, or, it just seems nice. This is the 3rd extra tablespoon. So it might change depending on how you're blending it up.
Yes, Lisa prefers smooth dips, and Gina agrees that hummus is best smooth.
Okay, and I also see
Marilyn is here.
Yes, hi Marilyn, welcome. We're just making dips. There we go. Oh. It started to really go. I think we're almost there. Maybe 1 more tablespoon. Okay, so that's fun. Here's another fun question while I'm finishing this up. What is your stance on double dipping?
Oh, here we go.
What do you think? Okay, I'm not going to even give any tips. I'm just going to see what people say. And I think that I'm going to stop with the orange juice at this point. That was, what did I say, 4? Because I just added 1 plus the original. And I think if it needs any more liquid, I would just switch over to water, because I don't want it to be super, super sweet. I want it to be more smoky. And I'm going to shake this thing. See if we can really get it to move around for us. There we go. Yeah, baby. It's a party. Yay! Yes. Okay. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough, and I'm going to call it. I'm going to move this guy over here, and I am going to open this. This is great for strength. I love it. Oh, yeah. And the texture seems really good. So I guess before I take it all out, I'm going to want you to tell me about the chat, and then I'm going to have you come and taste it and let me know if we need to add any more to it.
So most people are pretty set that no double dipping.
Okay.
Mona is kind of ambivalent. She doesn't care really.
Okay.
And Jill says only if she's the only one eating it.
Oh, who said that?
Jill.
Oh, Jill. Yeah. Me too, right?
Chris Brandman said hello and absolutely not. No double dipping.
No double dipping. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Do you know what? I think that I agree, but with some exceptions. Like, I'm okay to double dip with my grandkids to a point. Maybe I take that back.
Yeah, that's probably the worst example.
I like to give them their own. You know what? I'm changing my mind after thinking that through. I think that yes, I prefer not to double dip unless it's my own serving. How's that?
Well, Lisa brings up a good point. Double dipping is only okay if you're dipping with something large enough to turn around after the first bite.
Yes, that's true. That is true. Like like a big piece of apple or a tortilla or something like that, a gigantic wedge of mushroom, I'm guessing. So yes, that's really good. So I'm going to invite you back over here. I'm going to get a fresh spoon. If the texture doesn't seem right, I have it still in here because I want to be able to blend it up.
Okay.
Here he is again.
Hello again. We're back.
And let's see.
Which one? Oh,
smoky sweet potato white bean dip. And
smoky it is.
Okay, so it doesn't taste too much orangey?
No. I don't get a lot of the orange, actually. I get a little bit, but I'm really getting a good smoky flavor. It's super. Wow, that is a really smoky flavor. That is really good.
Is it too smoky?
No, I like smoky.
Okay.
And Gina likes smoky.
And
so
Gina likes
smoky. Perfect for you.
Okay, so are you calling this done?
I am calling this pretty good.
So nothing, we don't need to make any changes?
Just more.
Okay, all right. So
I'm
gonna go ahead and bring over this little dish. This is something else I wanted to tell you that, we don't use a lot of these different decorative dishes, and why not pull some of it out if you're going to be doing something, if it brings you joy, right? And I thought this is fun and festive. For me, it doesn't have to have a bird or autumn, or it doesn't have to be a certain way that is somebody else's idea, unless that's the way that I want it to be. But for me, I thought that this was fun. And so we're going to be putting some of these in here. Okay. What do you guys do? Do you like having any kind of special serving dishes or anything like that? I would love to hear about it while I take this out. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I didn't even think about it, but look, this is orange in the orange dish.
That's a lot of orange.
And there's a little bit here that we could have blended a little better. Yeah, I don't know. The NutriBullet I thought would be a great fit for this, but whatever machine works for you. Vitamix, I would need to double this amount for it to be a really good fit. And you know me, if you've watched me, I don't like to waste. So I want to see if I can scrape out a little more before he goes ahead and rinses that out. Let me see. So now I want to ask you another question. How do you stay intentional with your food choices during any holiday? And I'm just wondering I'm going to put this here. I'm just wondering what anyone might say about that. And I'm going to just scrape this a little bit more. Todd, sorry about that. I just cannot let it go. And so okay, let's see. So yeah, Todd, how do you stay intentional?
With respect to
eating? Now that you have made some changes over the past, I don't know how many months it's been now, but whether you're with a client or at a family thing, is there anything that you think about to make sure that for you that you stay intentional with your own personal food choices when somebody else might be serving something that doesn't resonate with you?
I mean, the first thing is I try to not find myself in situations where I would be tempted.
Yeah, you do that, and I'm just going to grab this to help.
In a difficult decision-making process.
So, what's an example? Here you go. I'm going to do that, okay?
Yeah, so if I'm going out to lunch with clients or whatever, I will look at the menu ahead of time and know I'm going to have this salad or I'm going to have this instead.
But I mean, like for a holiday, or I guess it could be for anything.
Well, for a holiday, we usually bring our own stuff with us.
We do bring a lot, yeah.
So, I mean, it's fairly easy because, you know, you pack a metric ton of food to go with us.
Okay. All right. Let's see if anyone else has anything to say while he helps us and we can get ready for dip number 3. I'm just going to look here. Okay. I'm just reading. I'm getting caught up. And I'm just seeing some of the comments that Todd already read. So Mona says, but then the germs on your hands go into the dip when you turn it around. Because there were a couple comments that Lisa said she's okay turning it around. So yeah, I guess it's up to what everybody feels comfortable with. So
but
maybe
Gina apparently likes to live dangerously. She's okay with the germs that might come
yeah,
with that.
yeah. So I guess, yeah, but it is kind of fun to talk about and see what people think. Yeah, and that's what she said. Gina said, Mona, I live life that dangerously. Oh my gosh, that's great. Apple a Day says, watching videos like this and chatting with others in live stream keeps me focused. Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah, and that is something that really helps me too, is community and being able to bounce things off with you guys. So I agree with you, and thank you for mentioning that. Gina says, I remind myself that food is fuel. Mm-hmm. Concentrate on enjoying the people and don't want to feel like I failed when I get home. Yes. And I think that's really important. And it's okay to remind yourself, even by, and I've done this before, even by having a conversation verbally in the mirror to myself, because you know, I find that that's an easier way to reflect for me than just a thought that I may have had, which works also. And let's see, Apple a Day says, also, once I decide on something, it's near on impossible to switch. I've decided that certain things are not food, and that makes it easy for her. And yeah, right? And you've decided that certain things aren't food, but they're not, well, I agree with you. I'm thinking there are a lot of things that we can ingest, but they aren't really food, right? Because they don't fuel us. Yeah. And so that's good. And then Apple a Day says, Gina, high five. Same here. And they're high fiving. I want a high five. Can we high five? Okay. So it looks like you're almost done there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the third recipe going here. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And let's see, that is going to be spinach and avocado dip, food processor. Okay, spinach and avocado dip. So that's great. Let me grab this again. Thank you again, honey, for making sure that we can do this smoothly.
Listen, we'll work for dip.
We'll work for dip. Well, you are, because that's what's going on here. Okay. Let me just get out our latest and greatest ones here, spinach and avocado dip. Okay, so I'm just going to move some of this out of the way in case we need it. I can grab onto it. Okay, and all right. Whoa. Okay, so let's see. Thumbs up for Jennifer, says Mona. Oh, thank you. High five, Apple says. Chris Brandman says, I just think about my why. I'm eating this way because I'm feeling better. I have CPT2 and have to keep my fat really low, and this way of eating is perfect. Oh, you know what? Good for you. And I am so proud of you for figuring out what works for you, and also for sharing with us the why thing. I had such a hard time grasping what that meant for me until I attached it to an emotional part inside of myself, and now I understand it, and it's amazing when you make that connection, and it really gives the whole thing purpose, doesn't it?
It does.
And so Marilyn Dubin says, I love avocados. Yay, me too. Who doesn't? Well, I guess there are people that don't, but yeah, me too. And that's key, Mona says to Chris. Yeah, thumbs up. This is awesome. So, okay, I am going to make a little bit of space here. And the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to do spinach, avocado dip. But I got to get my paper out. Oh, so I can stay on task. So while I start talking about this, I'm also wondering, another question I can throw out there if anyone's interested in answering it, and it's, what is your mindset? And I'm thinking of this because I had it written and then Chris brought it up about the mindset and the why. And so I think it's good for other people if they want to chime in. What's your mindset when you're facing a table full of options that might not align with your lifestyle? What is your mindset, you know? And I'm not going to give examples, which I could, but it could be either way. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just wondering what it is. And so while you guys maybe talk about that, I'm going to start pulling out the rest of the ingredients. And that is going to be this guy right here. So the first thing that I did was I steamed some fresh spinach. And we want a half a cup of fresh spinach. I went ahead and left it in here because I just wanted to show you how I do it. I have water in this bottom pot here, and it's not hot anymore, but I heat that up with, in the steamer part, you can put it directly into the steamer, but I don't. And I'll show you why. Here's the steamer, and you can see a piece of the spinach fell out of this bowl, and it gets all stuck, and it just makes cleanup hard for me. So if it's a small amount, and this bowl was full, because if you know spinach, it shrinks down, I put it in this little, what is this, Corningware. It fits right in there, and then that's it. What I did after it was cooked, I let it I let it cool a little bit. And then I took it out and I started to squeeze out any water that's in this. But this is it was a pretty big half a cup. And then you can go ahead, if it's still really wet, you can put it in like a kitchen towel or something that's clean to dry it a little bit. But I just wanted to show you how I do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to start putting stuff in the food processor again with the S blade. And there goes my little blurb of spinach. I am also going to be adding some, whoops, not that. That is for later. That is cilantro. Some garlic. And I've got garlic right in here. Let's see, how much garlic did we put in here? 2 cloves already minced, but because it's going to chop up, I don't know if you need to do that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add 2 avocados. 2 avocados. Okay, yeah, let me just focus on that. Okay, so 2 avocados. Now, I just recently did a video on avocado. Oh, I don't know if it's up yet. No, it's not up yet. It's going to be coming out soon. An updated version of avocados. So anyways, what I'm doing is I'm just cutting this open. Hopefully this one is still good. Oh, it's not. So boo. That's okay. I have more. Now, if you're doing something like this and you're okay, you could certainly use it and just maybe cut out the part that is good and use that, but which is like this piece right here. But I am not going to do that today, but you could, and it would be fine. Oh, no, I've got some right there, sweetie. Thanks. So I'm going to cut up some other ones, and as long as we have some other options, otherwise I will have to go back to that.
So Mona has a question.
Sure.
Is that 1/2 cup steamed?
It is, I measured it a half cup beforehand,
okay,
and then I just put it in there. But you know what? You could certainly, that's a great question, because you want it. See, I didn't want it to be so much spinach that it takes away and it's just like spinachy. And so if you want it to be a little more chunkier, you could certainly add more spinach. But how I did it, and I actually just took it out to chop it up a little. I don't know why. So hopefully that answers your question. This avocado looks better. I'm going to go ahead and take this avocado And so I think there's always flexibility, right? If you make this and you think, you know what, I want more spinach in it, then add more spinach because it does shrink up. I like to also just scoop out all the avocado and put it in here. There we go. That's one. And I am going to go ahead and get one more avocado. And some people, you know, they don't want so much avocado because it is a higher fat, but are you going to be eating the whole thing? I don't know. And you could probably freeze it if you wanted to, although this one came out really good. Although I like to just eat it fresh. Do you know that there is store-bought avocado that's like frozen in the freezer, ready to go? And I thought that would be really fun to try. And I couldn't believe it. There was oil, there was additives in it, and so I put it back. I was going to say a lot of times people just take the knife and click it like that, but you don't have to do that, especially if it's really ripe. You can just push from the back, and then there's no involvement of hurting yourself. So anyhow, I like to share that as much as I can. All right, so let's move all of this. Okay, rinse my fingers. How are we doing? Anybody answer that last question?
Mona says thank you for the clarification on the spinach, on the steamed spinach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hope that gave you clarification. Okay, so I am going to also take a tablespoon of lime juice. And what I have found is that you could either just take the whole lime, you could just take the whole lime and we could just cut the skin off and just put that whole inner piece in here. And I say the whole lime, but I'm actually going for half a lime. Half a lime is about a tablespoon. I'm going to just use the juice this time. You could put the whole thing in. I like to do it both ways. I guess sometimes I do it one way or the other, but I just didn't want to have a chunk of anything that somebody might scoop and then get this like lime. You know, I love it, but not everybody does. So that's why I decided not to do that today. Okay. Next, we are going to add some artichoke. Now, I like spinach artichoke dip, but this is spinach avocado dip. And I thought, well, what would it be like if we added a little artichoke? Now, in the past, I actually have never added the artichoke. So what do you think? Should I mix it up the way we should and then add the artichoke and see how it tastes, or just go for it?
Are we putting this out to a vote, or are you asking me?
I'm asking you. You're the tester.
Well, listen, you make what you're going to make and I'll eat it and tell you what I think.
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put in, and let me just show what I did. So I went ahead and had these artichoke hearts that I get at Trader Joe's or anywhere that I can find them. They're frozen, and the ingredients is artichoke hearts. So I took a few of these out, and I actually put them in the steamer with the spinach on the side because they won't stick or anything. And maybe I'll just show you one quick thing. That's a bad piece to show. So they come like this, if you can see that. And it's kind of like this is the heart, and then this is this part where it's part of the inner part of the leaves. So I cut some of that off for this dish and just shoved it back in here that I'll use it for something else. Let me throw this in the freezer. And I can come up with another question too, but I just want to get this going because I know I have so much fun with you guys. Like the time just ticks away. So I'm going to go ahead and add that right in there. We've got the lime. We've got everything. I have cilantro that I'm going to do afterwards. We could put a little in here, I guess, but it's really, I want it for garnish. Then I'm going to add some dairy-free yogurt. I make homemade yogurt at times. I don't have any currently because I haven't been eating it. And so I did go ahead and buy a dairy-free yogurt. This one is one of the best ones that I could find. It's not perfect, but we just do our best. And if you do decide to do that, you're going to want a plain one. And so we want half a cup of this. And this little container is half a cup. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab my thingy, this guy right here, and put it right in there. You could do a cashew cream if yogurt was not your thing, but you just want something that's going to be a nice thickener, creaminess that we're looking for. And that's it, guys. So we're going to go ahead and blend this up and see what we can do. But did anyone say anything about mindset? The question, there was a question, what's your mindset when you're sitting here? Did we already mention that and had answers?
I don't see answers specific to that,
Okay.
but I was on the other side of the camera.
No, that's okay. So how about we move on to another question? And
Gina has to leave.
Oh, Gina. Okay. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us while you could. I appreciate it. And I'm just going to put this on, but I'm going to ask you, what is one thing, if you could only choose one thing, what is one thing that you're especially grateful for this year? And it could be something new that you never thought of as being something that you would list, or it could be something that you've used before. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in while they do that. Yes, this looks great. This looks great. I think that's it. It's done.
Mona would like to know if instead of yogurt, you could use silken tofu.
Yes, I think you could, although I've never tried it, but it's the right consistency, and I would do the shelf stabilizing one. And I would definitely try that. Great tip. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Todd, come on and taste this, and we're going to try to move along. I do have them cilantro that I'm going to put on top when it's finished, but let me get you a spoon. And then I think we have one more that we're going to do, and then we're going to talk about some stuff. I know we're almost at the hour. We are going to go over. You're welcome to stay. I understand if you can't.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah?
Ready?
Yes.
Ooh, that is interesting. There's a tartness, I think, from the yogurt.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of creaminess out of the yogurt. So the yogurt's a big player in this one. If you like plain yogurt, you're gonna love this. It's really creamy and good.
Okay, yeah. Good. Okay, let's. I'm just gonna quickly.
Definitely an avocado thing going on.
Could you taste any of like the artichoke stuff? I'm gonna plate it. So that we can
have to check again.
Okay. Okay. Now we did put some lime juice in here, and I wonder if that takes.
I'm getting a little bit of lime.
Yeah. Is that okay? Good. So, I might test this, really like tasty. Mona said, or maybe she'll try it and try it with the silken tofu. And there we go. Look, now the thing is, this is avocado, you guys. So avocado, it has the oxidation. So try to make it as soon as possible to when you're going to be serving it, because otherwise it will not look as pretty. But if you wrap it correctly and you do find some oxidation and you don't mix it up, you can, some people do, you can scrape it off and it's still perfectly fine. It's just a discoloration that's not so pretty. So we're going to go for, I'll just tell you, I take saran wrap. As much as I try not to use it too much, I put it in my container that it has a lid for storing something like this. Like I would put it in my Pyrex dish, and then I would take some plastic wrap and touch it on the surface and get as much air out as I can, and then tuck the rest in and put a lid on. And then when it's time for me to use it again, I will take it off, and then I might scrape off any little bits that have that oxidation. And so just as a tip, you could also take a little more lime juice on top if you want to try to keep it. And then it's nice to have a little bit of, you could even chop this up more, but just a little bit of that. Look at that. And we've got another one to make. I'm going to keep going. Let's see. One of the last ones that we're going to make is, the raw zucchini ranch dip, the raw one. Yeah, I wanted to do a raw one. Okay, so let me just take a minute here. Has anyone answered?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear about it.
So Apple a Day is grateful for her new wheelchair. It took almost 4 years to get it.
Oh Are you serious? Why am I surprised by that?
Yep.
I am grateful for your new wheelchair too. Anything that we can have in our lives that makes things easier, why not? Wow, I wonder what that is. I bet it's do I dare say, is it an insurance thing? I don't know, but I'm just glad to hear that you have one and that it's working for you. Yay!
Mona is grateful that she's finally reached 69 years old and 98% debt free and healthier than she's been in 5 years.
Yeah, rock on, Mona. Woo! Oh my gosh. I want to be just like that when I'm 69. Happy birthday, right? Whenever it was. And I know it wasn't just like today or anything, but what a wonderful accomplishment. And a great feeling and just wonderful. Good for you. Yep, you're doing great. Anything else? This is fun.
Her birthday is in February, so begin your shopping now.
Yes. Okay. That's great. Okay, so we are going with the raw zucchini, and I'm just going to bring it back over. I think we're going to go ahead and do it with the NutriBullet. I'm reluctant, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm just going to grab a few items, and we are going to get that going. And that is this guy over here. Okay, so let's see. Oh, here's a question while I'm just resetting for this one. How do you express gratitude to your host if you're going to someone's house, if you're not bringing food? Like maybe they made food for you. Do you, I don't know, do you do anything? Is there anything special that you would do? I actually haven't really been in that situation, but somebody had asked me that question and I thought, well, I'll bring it up. Maybe it applies to some people. This one is going to have cashew nuts in it and zucchini and all kinds of fun things. And so let me just reset this. Anything, honey?
Nope.
Okay.
Mona agrees that you should begin your shopping for her now.
Okay. Okay. Noted. Okay. So what we have here, and I have some of the stuff out here because I thought that I would be showing it. But I'm just going to go ahead and start adding. So I want 1 cup of cashew. I'm sorry. Start over. I want 1 cup of chopped zucchini. This is about the size, just a standard size zucchini that measured 1 cup. And I just kind of plopped it in here. I chopped it a little bit and I'm just kind of throw it in this. I hope this works for our blending situation. And then the next thing we're going to add are 1/4 cup of cashew nuts. I've had them soaking, so they're super soft. I'm going to drain them. You could try sunflower seeds. I almost did sunflower, but I went ahead and did the cashew. It gives it a lot of creaminess. And for the entire thing, it's 1/4 cup. So not too much. Oh, you're here. And I'm just going to
do what you need to do.
Yep, I'm just going to drain this really quickly. And I'm going back over here. And there you go. Okay, thank you. And so I'm going to go ahead and add those right in there. And then, juice of a lemon. So I did the same thing like with the lime. I decided not to take the whole piece. I did use this guy right here, and I pre-squeezed half of a lemon right in there. The juice goes. And then I'm going to do a medjool date. I want this one to have a little bit of sweetness. Some people, you might want to do a half a date or skip the date, but I think that it's a nice blend because zucchini is very mild. And so I went ahead and pitted this, and I'm putting the whole thing in. It's a small one. If it's hard, you're going to want to soak it a little bit in warm water, and it will bring it right back to life. And then I've got some seasonings. So right here, I have a teaspoon of onion powder, and I have a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. That's going to give it kind of this cheesy sort of flavor that I'm looking for. And then I am also going to add 2 cloves of minced garlic that I already did. It's ready to go in this little guy. And then I am also adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of plant milk. This is soy milk, and this is 2 tablespoons. And depending on how much water is in the zucchini, you can play around with it. I'm going to go ahead and pour the whole thing in just because. And so I am going to blend everything. And then the last things that we're going to have are some dill and some scallions. But we're going to mix that in afterwards. So let me find the lid. And, oh, of course, black pepper. It's always an option. You don't have to. But, you know, there was a time when I couldn't have black pepper. And now that I can, I tend to really enjoy it. So, okay, let me see if there's anything else in the chat. Thank you, Jill. Jill had to run. Okay, oh, let's see, apple a day. Jennifer, what is love language? Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, or receiving gifts. So she's asking me, what is love language? Words of affirmations. Are these choices for me to choose from? Quality time. God, these are hard. They're all love languages. But maybe what is my love language? Physical touch, acts of service, or receiving gifts. I'm going to have to say, oh, she meant to say, what is my love language? Okay, so first of all, I'm a Pisces. And I have a really hard time making decisions. I can never choose. I'm always concerned about what I'm missing out on. And so of the list, I'm going to start by narrowing it down to 3.
Oh, this will be good.
Oh my gosh. So quality time, physical touch. This is in no order. Words of affirmation. But I also really like act of service. What I am okay with, my love language, receiving gifts, I'd rather give them. I'd rather give gifts. It is nice because I allow other people, if they want to offer me a gift, and you know, I try not to have an expectation. I don't really, I don't expect, but so it is nice. And then I know that hopefully they're feeling what I enjoy feeling when I give gifts. Acts of service are really fun if you can, and really hit home if you can really touch someone. Like if I can really do a good one, then that's right up there with giving. So okay, yeah, okay. But I think they're all good. So let me get this going. I'm going to think about the whole touch one because I do enjoy that for myself. Okay, so this doesn't have, let's see, we might have to add a little more liquid. This has just been the wrong machine to use for these today, sweetie. Oh, here we go. Yes, yeah. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got the last one that I was going to make. Then I'm going to show you a few other things. Oh, it smells good. This is the raw one. I'm going to taste this one. Do you want to taste?
I'm already halfway in.
Okay, I just want to taste this one.
Okay, let's do it.
That's good.
Oh, that is good.
It's very light.
The date really, it's interesting. It starts off really sweet, then I get really tart, and then I get, you know, some good spice out of the garlic. It's really good. I
mean, would you add anything or change anything? Are you good with this?
I would just add my spoon or a dipping mechanism.
Okay, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to taste as light. I don't remember. I haven't.
It is really light.
Done this one in a long time, but yeah, it feels great. Okay. Oh, he wants more, which is great. Okay, and so then what you're going to want to do is you could either mix in. Is this your spoon? Let me see. Yep. I'm getting confused. You can either mix in some scallions and some dill, or you can just mix the dill. And you know what, honey? I want to mix the dill, and that's what I got excited about what we were doing. So I'm just going to mix it in here, and then I'm going to ask you to taste it one more time with the dill.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead for serving purposes. Put this right like that, and then go ahead and the dill is in there.
Should I get some dill?
Yeah, get some dill.
Okay, let's get some dill.
And then I'm just going to put some chopped onion. I kind of like the darker onion.
The dill's a winner.
Yeah, the dill.
It really balances out all the other things that are going on really nicely.
Very good.
But I did not get it with the onion. So
okay, get it with the onion.
Back in. And this is, by the way, not double dipping. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Okay, and Apple a Day says, mine is words. I express gratitude with my words. You know, I better do some thinking and some reflecting on this question. What is my love language? Thank you for bringing that up and for sharing. Mona, touch is so important. A hug can heal so much. Oh my gosh, and aren't they great to give? I love to give hugs. Mona, I'm not sure if I could eat without cracking black pepper. Oh, you love black pepper. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, it was hard, but it was fine. Black pepper really does bring a lot, doesn't it? So let me read a couple more, and then I'm going to show you the last minute things and just kind of show you what I have behind the scenes for presenting and you know, having a nice display. So let me just see. Oh, and I spelled your name wrong. Sheesh, trying not. No, you're fine. I understood what you were saying. Mona says, funny Todd. Lisa says, I'm act of service. Apple O'Day says, we often differ on how we express love and how we prefer to receive love. They don't always align. Yeah, that's true. I've noticed that with some of my kids, actually. So a good one. Interesting stuff. Yes, it is. Oh, she loves it. She said it's a beautiful shade of green. You know, I might double this recipe because look at these are, and this one is, you know, so much less, but for what it's worth, there you go. And here's the other one. You finish reading those and I'm going to pull out, I'm going to share one more thing, which is we're not making it because we are out of time. And I also recently made it, which is just regular hummus. But I do have the recipe here, and I will just say it if I can remember it here. So you want to have 1 20-ounce can of no salt garbanzo beans, or you can make it yourself. And the 20-ounce can would probably be about 2 to 2.5 cups. You want to save the liquid, the Faba. I don't know why I just had trouble with that. You want a generous tablespoon of tahini. You could omit the tahini, but I really like the creaminess. Tahini are sesame seeds ground up. I do a half of a peeled fresh lemon. Remember I was saying that in these I didn't do it. I used the juice, but in this one I just throw it in there and it seems to grind up well. 5 cloves of garlic, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1/8 of a teaspoon of chili powder, 1/4 cup of the aquafaba at a time. And that's only if you need it, and that's to help with the creaminess. A pinch of sumac I like, and a pinch of dried coriander. I personally peel the beans. You can say to heck with that. I'm not peeling my beans, and that's fine too. And then I have a little bit of, you could either do some hot chili sauce, chili powder, or some paprika, or whatever you want. I like to put it here. And then here are some interesting platters that we can have here. So in this platter, we have tomatoes, bell pepper, we have mushrooms, raw broccoli. If you don't like raw broccoli, go ahead and just like quick steam it. Just to bring out the bright color, and maybe you'll be interested to try it more. And then I went ahead and did potato wedges. So I made a bunch of potatoes in the Instant Pot. Here they are. I left the skin. I cut them all up. I put them in the air fryer. You can put them in the oven. There's nothing on them. And this is another mechanism for using for dipping. And then I also have some of these homemade tortilla chips. I didn't make the actual tortilla, although you can. I bought one, and I don't see where it is, but it's, is it right here? Nope, I don't see where it, oh, here it is. And it's this one called Mi Rancho, and it's the thin credibles. And I put it in the oven for just a few minutes. You could squeeze some lime on here and then put some like garlic powder or onion powder, if you, or even a red paprika or whatever you want. But these are just plain, and they're great dippers, and you can use it with any of these dips. So this is the first platter that I have. And then I went ahead and also I have this platter, right? And it can go with any of these. I've got zucchini, the tomatoes. These are like the cherry tomatoes. We've got some radish, and I like to have them cut thick enough to be a good scooper. More broccoli. There's some cauliflower. We've got big wedges of cucumber, any cucumber. This happens to be the English cucumber. And then, you know, some people like chips or crackers or whatever. And so I'm showing you that you can do that too. These right here are called, oh, Todd did a great job. It's a little bit of water. These are brown rice snaps. And let me read you the ingredients on these. Organic whole grain brown rice, jasmine rice. That's it. That's it. So if you are looking, you know, for a chip or some kind of cracker, this is a great one. Here's, you know, not really for these dips, but you can make like chocolate hummus, or you can do date paste, and you can have fresh fruit that you can dip. I've got green and red apples and berries and one orange slice. And then we have one more platter. Can you pass that over? And here's another platter that I have. And this one, I'm just going to put right on top of this. And this one has carrots, some more broccoli and cauliflower, more red bell pepper. And then what are these at the end? Flax crackers. You can make flax crackers, or you can buy them. These I really think are great. They're called flackers. I didn't really know about them until recently, and they come flavored. There's a savory, I've got one on each side, or you can make them homemade very simply. It's just flaxseed in the dehydrator. And it's basically, this one says organic flax seeds, organic apple cider vinegar, organic garlic powder, organic onion powder. It does have some sea salt, organic basil leaf, and organic red chili pepper. I mean, so that's a really good one to bring as well. And then what if you don't have time to make these dips? Well, I have a couple that I just want to share. You could go ahead and buy the hummus that we talked about making homemade. And, you know, this is a really good brand around our home. I try to find, there's a Cedar Heights. It's a brand, and they do have a no oil, no salt. And that's a really good one. This one, and I can't always find that one in my area. This one doesn't have any oil, but it does have a little salt. So, you know, you decide if you have the time or what you can do. And then this is something that we just picked up yesterday. We've never tried it, but I saw it and I thought this might be good to share. Todd, you're going to have to try this and let people know. But This is Kite Hill. It's a dairy-free, made with almond milk, a French onion dip. It says new improved recipe, whatever that means. And it does have oil in it. Darn it, coconut oil. It's not perfect, but if somebody is looking for French onion dip in a traditional form, this is probably much better to try. So that is what I wanted to share, and I hope that everybody enjoyed it. Would you like to come try this before we before we head out? Oh, look, it's very runny and watery. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I don't know if anyone's ever tried any of these store-bought kind of things. So, and if you want to try any of this stuff, honey, we made all these with the cracker. I have been trying it the entire time we've been making it. I'm
going to try one of these potato things.
Oh, okay, good.
Drop that in there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
For store-bought, for a French onion dip, let us hear. If somebody was traditionally, it doesn't look like the traditional color. It's not as white. It's a little bit thinner.
It is thinner consistency. Color is certainly different.
It does smell like it.
It tastes very similar to what we traditionally grew up with, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Want to try anything else before we go? You want to try any of the flax crackers or the vegetables?
I'm actually thinking this is dinner.
And yeah, also if you could get any more feedback on any of this stuff.
Really good. I'm excited to get off camera so we can eat it.
Okay, so let's just see. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to eat your greens. Give plants a chance. You can do this. Be creative, have fun, and most of all, enjoy the experience and the people. I just want to double check and see if there are any other comments that we missed. Oh, Mona, thank you. I just caught her. It says, wow, you went all out. I really do want people to see that it's all good. You know, and I even have this, I forgot to put out, was the salsa. And we mentioned it before, and you can use it for the tortilla chips. I just want people to realize that you don't have to stay stuck in old thinking. And if you set your mind on a goal and a holiday or an event comes up, you can still do this and still enjoy it. Just pivot a little. Just try something different. Get crazy, right? There are those turkey trots that we have in our area. It's a 5K. You walk. We're going hiking on Friday. Do something that you enjoy in addition to hanging out with people, if that is your jam. And be kind and good to yourself. And I just want to say thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for staying. I'm sorry it went over, but I appreciate all of your time. Anything else, sweetie, before we hang up?
People are asking about the recipes.
Yes. Are you going to?
I will post them in the show notes after this.
Okay. Give them a couple minutes.
Yeah. Give me an hour or so.
Okay. Unless it's a replay, then hey, they should be here.
To retype them all into the show notes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And I just want to see. Okay. Go ahead.
Marilyn would like to know, where did you purchase the crackers?
Which crackers? These, the brown rice snaps? These or the flaxseed. Oh, well, we got them at the same place.
Yeah.
We got them at our local natural grocer. I do know that some Sprouts carries them. And I think some Whole Foods used to carry this one. They come in a lot of different flavors. This is just the plain, cleanest one of them all that doesn't have any oil or anything. And you can probably even find them online. If we can, you can put a link for everybody. Yep. And I just wanted to just see for the part that I can see. Oh, Apple a Day says, Jennifer, that's a gorgeous spread. Bon appetit. I wish everybody could have some. I'd love the feedback and the interaction and the laughs, you know.
Yeah, Mona is going to pick up Apple a Day, and they're going to come over for dinner.
Okay. All right. Great. So, Todd, you have to wait.
Okay. I'll try not to eat them all before you get here.
And Marilyn says, thank you for all your great ideas. Oh, I'm so glad. Chris Brandman says, hummus is so easy to make. Yeah, it really is. And Lisa says, thank you. And I see that now. I think we better head over. That's so fun. There is plenty for anyone. And okay, you answered about the recipes. I think we're good. I told you about the crackers. Yes. So if you're celebrating, happy Thanksgiving. And thank you again. We'll see you next time. Be good to yourself. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye, everyone.